Terra, we're blasting through.
Roger that. Hold on, Yudaka.
Settle down, you two. You won't be able to do anything if you're dead. Rushing in heedlessly isn't the way. Right, First Star?
Right.
Are you also in agreement, Master Terra?
Yeah. Just a little heated is all. Adjusting target. Let's blast through these dark years and head after Luna. I won't allow anyone to stand in our way. Incoming!
Hit me!
Kid hit me! Yours is growing stronger.
Moving out. Impossible. Hit me dead on.
Let's move! Perish!
I'm still good.
Ow!
Here. The first star is ready to shine. Move it.
Ow! It can't be!
Let's get started. Begone!
Sorry, but I have to pull back.
Taking action. Go! You can't hit me! The first star is ready to shine. Don't take the first star lightly.
Damn! How could I lose?
Move out.
What now?
Sun and Mercury here. Now arriving at the target point. Asterism. Will assist by engaging in combat.
Seriously? How did you let the original one get stolen by relayers? Absolutely pathetic.
Sun, Mercury, you made it.
Sorry for the holdup, Himiko. You handled the Astoria surprisingly well for someone with no experience. We'll take it from here.
Hey, Sun, mind calling the shots?
Not at all. I finally get to face these relayers. Not gonna let all this training go to waste.
Commencing operation. Lowly human!
You can't hit me! I'll do what I can to protect the universe. You're done!
I've been hit?
Let's get started.
Begone! I'm the hit? That hit me?
Try
I have
me
to
on
fall
for
back for now.
size. Relayers, at long last. Oh, how I've been waiting to pay you back for everyone you took from me 2 years ago.
Out of the way!
Am I needed?
I pride myself on flawless work. Keep cool, Mercury. You can do this. Mercury chose you, after all. Watch me, sis. Think you can get away? Hit me? I'm still fine. Die!
Just a scratch. Follow my lead. You won't get away.
Damn it! What the... I underestimated these backwater creatures.
To the defeated commander, we are prepared to make a generous proposal, if you agree to surrender. I'm sure you're not eager to die in this backwater.
Trust humans to act like they've already won the war. You have no idea who you're dealing with. Farewell, humans. You pitiful prisoners of gravity. I've been defeated. No way. They self-destructed?
While the taking of one's own life should never be lauded, this intel should prove valuable to us. Let's be sure to make use of it.
Unfortunately, their explosive end bought the relayer ship enough time to escape. Shouldn't be hard to imagine they'd head to the next sector.
The debris field. Several years ago, 2 nations engaged in the first space war over resources in that sector.
All gears, return to ship. The asterism will resume pursuit into the debris field once you're docked.
I guess it's hard to get back what you once let go.
I'm home.
We're back.
In one piece, no less. You have my gratitude for your service, my lady. You as well, Dark Walker.
This is the gear you wanted, right? I mean, it's the only one they had, so.
Indeed it is. I could never forget this detestable font of pure misery. You were of great help to us, Lady Luna, but you would do well not to let your personal issues interfere again. If you ever act contrary to our will again, you will be at the mercy of my judgment. I swear it.
Yeah, whatever.
Where are you going?
I need a break. There'll be another fight once they catch up to us. Might as well rest while I can. I'm gonna take a shower and a nap. Wake me up in an hour.
As you wish.
Dark Knight, you're not her servant.
Pay no mind, human or otherwise. It is my duty and pleasure as a Dark Knight to serve. However, if she acts contrary to the will of our true master ever again, she will taste the judgment of my blade.
Any progress on Tara's background?
Nope. No family records, no DNA on file, nothing. I'm not even sure her real name is Tara. All we know is that she was living in some place called the House of Stars with her sister until the gravity loss. After losing her sister, she spent some time traveling Japan and other countries, ended up in Artemis, and here she is now. We know everything she's done after the gravity loss, but no clue about before that. She's really a mystery.
Her background is concerning, but her sister's involvement with relayers is just bizarre. Please continue investigating.
Don't even have to ask. That's what I do. By the way, what happened to the original one?
We just got word from the asterism a moment ago. It's been taken into the debris field. The relayers flee in a Herschel-class cruiser, and the asterism continues to pursue. That's the latest. In any case, it's no small feat they were able to confirm the effectiveness of our stellar gears against the dark gears.
Aren't you asking too much of the asterism? I think this may be a bridge too far.
We don't have any other options. Reinforcements and supplies are on their way. I just hope they get there in time.
I hope they can push through.
Need something? Need something? What's the matter? What's the matter?
Good to see you two. You really helped us out.
We happen to be training in the next sector over. We heard the original one was stolen and came right away.
The four of you are all the firepower we've got for now. Son, you're platoon leader.
I can do that. But are you sure? Isn't the first star, Himiko, the better choice?
Hard pass. I'm no good at giving orders.
Yeah, because you've never even tried. You just need experience.
Well, maybe right now isn't the best time for on-the-job training. I'll gladly watch you and learn.
Have we determined the relayer ship's route?
Netherworld is still searching, but there aren't a lot of escape routes available to a cruiser.
Then it's just a matter of time. What's Netherworld? Is it some kind of system or software?
My apologies for not telling you before. Netherworld is the main computer that runs the asterism. It oversees the ship's navigation, offensive and defensive systems, and maintains data links between gears.
If Netherworld is the mainframe, does that make you its flesh and blood housing unit, Pluto?
I see how you might reach that conclusion. A good guess, but not exactly right. As I explained before, I'm kind of a unique star child. The will of my star resides within my artificial intelligence.
I have never heard of any artificial intelligence that was able to replicate a human personality. Which is to say, I had no idea you were not actually human. Did the will of the stars bring this to pass?
No, even they lack the power to grant an AI a soul. My psyche was copied from the brain of a boy. It's essentially a replicated personality. Though I have come to find that these thoughts and emotions of mine are not mere copied data. I've seemingly created my own soul.
I see. How utterly fascinating.
From my perspective, I find you equally fascinating. Both of us exist right at the border of man and machine. I would love to learn more about you. Will you be my friend?
You flatter me. Of course I will.
I look forward to getting to know you.
Likewise, Pluto.
That's great, Yudaka. You made a new friend.
Oh, hey! While we're here, let's get this out of the way. Medea, is it ready?
Of course. All ready to go. Mind taking your clothes off for me real quick, Tara?
Come again? What do you think? I've never worn anything like this before, so I'm worried it might not be flattering.
Oh, don't be silly. The uniform looks great on you, Tara.
Putting that uniform on is akin to setting foot into a new world. You'll need determination to survive in this world. Remember that.
Determination. Luna.
A suggestion, if I may. Why don't we all take a picture with you in your new uniform?
Oh, great idea. Let me take it.
No thanks. I'm good.
Why so shy, Mercury? Come on.
Hey, stop pulling on me. Let's get in there too.
Okay.
Everyone ready? Say cheese.
What are you doing, collaborator?
Getting ready for the next fight. Can't go out with the original one all beat up like this.
You think they're after us?
Their ship seemed pretty fast. I'd say so. But the fact that it didn't attack us back there probably means that it's not equipped for battle. Oh, that's right. GT Labs isn't authorized by the military to have warships. It's just transport for those new quasars. Shouldn't we be the ones going after them?
No. Those aren't quasars. They're stellar gears.
Stellar gears?
Weapons. Used by an ancient galactic civilization we annihilated 100 million years ago. What you call the original one is one such weapon. I saw it once during that war 100 million years ago. They were used by those housing the will of the stars back then, too.
What? You're that old? Could have fooled me.
A matter of perspective. Our concept of time differs from yours. This alternate perception of time is sometimes a prison to us. To use the language of this reality, it is a time prison.
A time prison. Huh.
But we now have the key. All that's left to do is remove it from the box. Then, my ascension to Exalted God Relayer will be complete.
The asterism is entering the debris field. No turning back now. Are you prepared, Master Terra?
Luna helped the relayers steal the original one. She hates me so much, she could kill me. I can't walk away until I find out what's gotten into her.
I was worried that your resolve might have wavered, but that seems not to be the case.
Terra, there you are.
Hey, Yumiko. Any updates on the relayer ship?
Still nothing, unfortunately.
I see.
Would you mind helping me out with some work real quick?
Work?
We're always short-handed around here. If you could help out, it'd be appreciated.
I'm kinda surprised you meant you needed help peeling vegetables.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I don't mind at all. I just figured food on a ship like this would all be rations and retort pouches. Are you in charge of peeling veggies?
On a ship, you have to make good use of any downtime. I've been in space so long, this kind of work has become meditative.
I can see how.
I'm glad I invited you. You're good with a knife. Did you pick that up during your travels?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I might have picked it up at the House of Stars.
Huh. I bet you helped out around there a lot.
You seem pretty helpful yourself. Were you always like this?
Just the opposite. I never helped out around the house, so I had to learn everything from Medea and the captain.
Himiko used to cut her fingers and bleed all over the potatoes when she was starting out. she's gotten a lot better.
Medea, shouldn't you be on the bridge?
Pluto's taking care of things. Captain told me to take a break. And I realized we never even told Terra about our organization, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to do so.
You're right. I can't believe I forgot something so important. Sorry.
Just as I thought. I'm sure you have a lot of questions, but I'll start by explaining about the asterism. The asterism is owned by the Gravity Technology Development Organization GT Labs, which was founded by the United Earth government.
They research gravity tech used in space exploration and colonization, right?
Right, but that's just a front. It was actually created by the United Earth government to defend the Milky Way from the Relayer invasion.
Ah, so that's why you have stellar gears, and a huge ship like this. Did you know about this, Yodaka?
This is the first I've heard of it as well.
Along with the Relayers, we're the UEG's most closely guarded secret.
But why are they hiding the truth?
Very good question, Terra. What do you think might happen if everyone knew we were being invaded by beings that could wipe out entire galaxies?
I see your point.
If anyone even actually believed it, it would likely plunge the whole world into total chaos. So, that's why we operate under the cover of GT Labs. We have 3 main objectives. The first is to prepare for the invasion by locating those who possess the will of the stars, Star Children. The second is to train those Star Children to be pilots. The third is to evaluate the experimental supergravity vessel, Asterism. That was the plan, anyway. But now we have to deal with this original one thing, too. I know that was brief, but does that answer some questions?
Yes, I feel like I understand a lot more now. Oh, that's right. What is the original one? I can tell it's really important, but other than that...
I'll field that question.
Captain, what about the bridge? Is anyone there?
Things were pretty dull. Pluto's on it.
I guess that should be okay. At least, I hope so.
To answer your question about the original one, it all started several decades back, when a meteorite hit Antarctica.
The most recent meteorite to hit Antarctica was the Vinson Massif meteorite.
Impressive. Not surprising you were once a space probe, AI.
You're too kind.
GT Lab's predecessors dispatched researchers to investigate the site. But instead of a big rock, what they found was a humanoid weapon.
The original one.
Bingo. And they learned of the Relayer plot to destroy the universe via data found stored in the gear. So the UEG established GT Labs to counter the Relayer threat, and use technology from the original one to develop our very own stellar gears. To sum things up, that gear contained the technology of an advanced alien civilization, as well as data pertaining to the Relayers. To my understanding, the technology from the original one was also used to build the orbital elevator and orbital ring.
So that is the secret history behind the advent of Earth's space exploration age. This is fascinating beyond words.
You're so dramatic, Yodaka. Even I could tell the original one was important. Why would you be trying so hard to get it back otherwise?
This is a tremendous responsibility. I'm not sure you're up to the task, Master Terra.
You know I'm a star child, right? I know I can do this. You'll see.
I believe you have yet to understand the significance of being a star child, Master.
Fair point. I should probably figure that out.
Don't worry. I'll tell you all about Star Children later.
All right, well, I think we've talked long enough. Should be about time.
About time?
If my hunch is correct, we should locate the enemy ship any second now.
What's going on?
Pluto, what happened?
It would appear they found us before we could find them. They beat us to the punch.
What about our search? Netherworld didn't pick them up.
Unfortunately not. They probably used the same technique as the pirates who stalked this area.
They hid in the shadows of the debris and waited for us to waltz into their trap.
That would explain why they didn't show up on our thermal or repulsive force sensors.
A little more human than Relayer, as far as traps go.
It has to be Luna. She's always been a smart one.
Stellar Gear pilots to your stations. Deploy when ready.
Terra, let's go.
Okay. New uniform, new resolve. I won't let go of your hand this time, Luna.
Stellar gears deployed. All gears, move to intercept.
I don't see the original one. Maybe Luna's not out here.
I detect one quasar among the enemy gears. I suspect she may be piloting it.
Yeah, Luna must be in there. There's no way she'll listen to me at this point. We'll have to disable her gear first.
That's the one. I knew my sister would poke her head out. This time, I'll be sure to finish her off.
Stellar Gear Astoria. Ready to blaze trails.
Try not to get burnt.
The first star is ready to shine.
Taking action. The void call.
Nothing.
Hit me dead on.
I'm taking action. Get them, bitch!
How could I lose?
Let's get rolling, Yodaka. It's time to move out.
Try not to get burnt.
Let's do it. I pride myself on flawless work. What a stroke of luck.
Let's move.
What's racing? Stella Gear Astoria. Ready to blaze trails. Take that! Let's get back to the mission. Leveled up.
That can't be.
Follow my lead.
I'll do what I can to protect the universe. The stars deem you an enemy. I pride myself on flawless work. Take this! Get on!
Impossible. I'll teach them a lesson.
You! Your aim is shaky!
Let's get rolling, Yodaka. It's time to move out.
Follow my lead.
The first star is ready to shine. It's go time! Status critical! I'm taking action. All thanks to Sun's guidance. I'd like to become strong like you.
Not bad, sis. Not bad. Ugh, I can't believe you got me. Damn it! I hate you. I'll kill you and be done with it. Right here, right now!
Luna!
No way! A direct hit? Ah!
She's not moving.
I can't believe this. Guess this gear's just no match for yours. Should I be thanking you for sparing my life?
Give up and surrender, Luna. We won't hurt you.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but don't you think you're getting ahead of yourself with just 4 gears there?
Oh no, We've drifted too far from the asterism.
I can't believe this. Sun, let's head back. You too, Himiko and Terra.
And now, it's go time, Walker baby. As you command.
Our engine has taken a hit. We can't maintain speed. We won't be able to move at all if this keeps up.
They really got us good.
We're under heavy fire from the dark gears. Captain!
So we were the real target all along. Pluto, why aren't we firing back?
We would if we could. Until quite recently, this ship was meant only for navigational testing. We lacked the necessary arms for combat.
Call everyone back here. Damn it! Some pursuit this turned out to be.
Engine destroyed as commanded. Shouldn't we finish it off? The main engine is enough for now. I'm falling back. Understood.
No, you don't. I got you. You're not going anywhere, Luna.
What the hell? I thought you went back to your ship. Let me go! Why have you always been so obsessed with me?
I'm taking you aboard the asterism. We're gonna sit down and have a nice long talk. If you're still mad at me over what happened that day, I'll apologize as many times as you need me to, so...
Sis, are we really family? Do you really love me? Do you promise to never let me go again?
Luna... Luna, I promise. No matter what, I'll never let go of your hand again. Let's be sisters again.
Be sisters again? Okay. I believe you. I'll trust you, sis. Just don't lie to me again.
I won't.
She bailed out of her gear?
Walker, grab her!
As you command.
No! Terra! Get away from that gear right now!
But I can't get away!
Master Terra, no!
Terra! That idiot! What was she thinking?
Terra, come in! Terra, can you hear me?
Don't worry about me.
Thank goodness you're alive.
Astoria's armor really held up. You would have been a goner if you hadn't been in a prototype stellar gear.
But what about Luna?
Terra, please fall back!
But Luna is...
Calm down, Terra. There's no way you can pursue her in that condition. You need to take care of yourself first.
You're right.
Himiko, can you tow her in?
No problem. What about you?
The asterism just lost mobility. Mercury and I will patrol the area just to be safe.
What's gonna happen to our recovery effort?
It's ultimately up to GT Labs HQ. But my guess is that they'll put it on hold.
Darn. Guess that didn't do it. I thought for sure that would kill her. Oh well. Well, guess I'll let you skulk away. But next time I see you, you're dead. Sis.
And that's the current situation.
Understood. We'll take over the search for the rogue relayer ship from here. The recovery effort is temporarily on hold. Get the asterism repaired at the orbital ring. I'll follow up as soon as we find space for you to dock. Take care of yourself.
Yes, sir.
This is about as bad as things get. I'm counting on you to find that missing relayer ship.
We're already analyzing surveillance satellite footage from every sector. Right, Haley?
Yes, we've made arrangements for that. We're also sending in the girls to join up with them at the orbital ring.
As usual, you're on top of things.
Don't let it go to your head, but you run the crew exceptionally well. I doubt you even need me around.
So you can continue hanging around the defense department every day?
That's not what I mean. Am I really here every day?
Yes.
It's true.
I'll try and be mindful of that. By the way, Haley, I was hoping you might be able to give us a reading.
Into the future of GT Labs and the asterism, correct? I thought you might ask, so I came prepared.
A reading?
Halley's Comet has always been a harbinger of misfortune. The details have varied throughout time, but it's always been pretty accurate. I use that power to make very simple predictions about the future. It's honestly too vague to be predicting anything. I prefer to call it fortune-telling.
Star Children can do that?
Only ones that possess the will of that ominous comet. So, just me. But Himiko's talent for sensing the presence of other Star Children is much more useful than mine.
That's not true. I'm sure this ability of yours has warned the Intelligence Bureau of countless dangers.
Maybe in hindsight.
Anyway, how about that reading?
It's kind of... No, it's really bad. The asterism is in for some dark days.
Where am I? Oh, right.
Tara, are you okay? Does it hurt anywhere?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just lost a little blood. This kind of thing happened every day when I was on the road. Remember, Yodaka?
Yes. However, even minor wounds can lead to complications resulting in death. Please, do be careful.
What happened to Luna?
We have no idea. The ship is damaged and a recovery effort is on temporary hold.
Oh, I see.
Ever heard of knocking, Captain? You can't just barge into a girl's room like this.
Oh, sorry about that. I'll be more careful.
It's okay. It doesn't bother me.
Losing to Luna like that must be a tough pill.
Honestly, it is hard. I feel like I'll never be able to get through to her like this.
That's because you're weak.
Captain!
Then I'll get strong. Stronger than I am now. No, stronger than Luna. And next time, I'll hold on to her. I don't think she'll ever listen to what I have to say. Unless I do that.
And here I was, worried you were on the brink of death. You seem all right to me. We'll do everything we can to help you get as strong as you need to be.
Thank you.
What's all this strength talk? You sound like a couple of meatheads.
captain, definitely. But Terra, too?
She's a little bit off, but her unrealistic optimism is one of her few strengths.
All right, then. I want you to team up with Himiko and Sun, and prepare to give those relayers a proper thrashing.
Nice. It won't be easy, but I'll make a proper star child out of you yet.
I'll be counting on it. Just wait, Luna. Next time, I'll be strong enough to hold on to you.
That should do it.
Is your injury causing much pain, collaborator?
I'm fine. At least I'm not totally blind. My depth perception is shot with only one eye, though. Guess I should take it easy.
I heard you two are sisters. Why do you quarrel? No. How can you quarrel?
Because we're sisters. Obviously.
I cannot comprehend.
Of course you can't. My sister and I are all messed up. Our values, morals, common sense, everything. We're both total disasters. Would we be trying to kill each other in giant, scary war machines otherwise?
You can leave the ship in my capable hands. Morning. Did you get enough sleep last night? Quite the night owl, aren't you?
I see. So you can't repair the main engine?
I'm afraid not. We'll have to make it back with the sub-engine.
Well, no worries. I know you've done all you can.
Hey, how about you drop the act? This no worries stuff isn't like you at all.
Maybe not in the past, but people change with time.
How's that new girl doing? Think she'll make the cut?
Maybe. She's under Himiko's wing now.
You sure Himiko's the right choice?
It'll be fine, Mr. Akaboshi. Himiko is surprisingly good at this kind of thing.
Teaching can often be the best way to learn. I think it will be useful for Himiko, too.
Before we get started, first let's review what you already know. When star children first awaken, all the memories and knowledge of the will of the stars come flooding in. But since your memory is damaged, you might not have any of that. Does that sound about right?
I'm sorry to say it does.
No need to apologize. It's not your fault. We'll start with the basics. Awakened humans who possess the will of the stars are called star children. The timing is different for everyone, but hearing the voice of your star marks your awakening as a star child. And the will of the stars resides right here. It lives in our hearts. In your case, it's the Earth's will.
The Earth's will is inside my heart?
When star children first awaken, we all get some kind of ability.
An ability?
Do you know what yours is?
Not at all. Himiko, what do you mean by ability?
I'm glad you asked. When we awaken, we gain the ability to manipulate GY particles, which are a type of particle known as dark matter that have mass. This is the same power that concentrates GY particles and pulls planetary systems and galaxies together that the will of the stars has... Are you following along?
So how does it work?
To put it more simply for you, it's the ability to manipulate gravity.
Manipulate gravity? So you mean you can fly around and stuff like that, or you can crush people like in manga?
Unfortunately, we can't do anything that impressive. At most, it allows us to use the stellar drive, which is the supergravity propulsion stellar gears use. But that's the best weapon we have against relayers.
As you know, relayers are far more advanced than we are. They're godlike disciples of the dark energy that holds the universe together. We're not even in the same league as them.
Hey, I'm supposed to be teaching?
The one weapon we have to oppose them are the stellar gears. They're gears specially designed to boost our ability to wield gravity and convert it to both propulsive and destructive force. But this just barely allows us to even step in the same ring with the relayers. To stand a real chance, it's absolutely essential to keep training pilots and improving the capabilities of the stellar gears we produce.
I see.
Boo. I wanted to tell her all of that.
Sorry about that, First Star. This sort of thing is about all I have to do for fun around here.
How are things coming along?
Captain, Pluto just...
There's no problem here, Captain. None at all.
There's a big, giant problem.
Can we help you with something, Captain?
Just stopping by with some refreshments for you kids.
Refreshments? Are you referring to the mugs in your hands?
That's right. I thought my special blend coffee might perk you up. I call it... let's go with Coal Sack Blend.
Is there some reason you've named it after the most pronounced dark nebula in the sky?
Thank you so much. It smells great. So, you made this coffee, Captain?
Yeah, it's a hobby of mine. This is a good batch. Let me know what you think.
Well, don't mind if I do then.
Wait! Tara, stop! Oh no. You're gonna regret that.
That's delicious. I'm no connoisseur, but this is exactly the flavor I like.
Great. I'm happy to hear that.
Seriously? Maybe this blend isn't so bad. I'll have some too.
Here you go.
Himiko!
Gross! Oh, it's so gross! It tastes like bilge water. Tara, let me try some of yours.
Sure. Here.
Oh, it's disgusting. It's like sewage and barf at a kid.
Is it really that bad, Himiko?
I made the mistake of taste testing one of his blends once. Let's just say it was the last time I did that.
Could it really be that bad?
Oh, I thought I was gonna puke to death. You don't have to humor him just because he's the captain.
But I'm not humoring him.
My blends are just too sophisticated for Himiko's palate.
My palate will never be sophisticated enough to enjoy that raw sewage. Okay, time to teach you a little about relayers.
They're everyone's enemy, right? That's what you call them when we first met, I think.
Master Terra,
What is it, Yodaka?
your retention is astonishingly bad. It's almost impressive. Is an inability to learn a hallmark of your generation?
What? I was preoccupied with Luna at the time. I think it's pretty normal that I don't remember much.
You didn't cross paths with your sister until later.
I'm so sorry, Himiko. Can you tell me about the relayers one more time?
Sure, I can take you through it again. I hate to use that guy's expression, but relayers embody the primordial will of the universe's creation. They're dark energy disciples who hold the fate of the universe.
Dark energy disciples who hold the fate of the universe?
They have one goal. They plan to create a perfectly orderly universe by using dark energy, or repulsive force, to snuff out all life via rapid expansion of the universe. If none of that makes any sense to you, all you really need to know is that they want to annihilate us. According to data found on the original one, they began their campaign 100 million years ago. They've already snuffed out numerous galaxies. And now, they've turned their attention toward the Milky Way.
I see. I think I get the idea.
Gulping that info right down.
When Terra says, "I think I get the idea," it means that she does not, in fact, get the idea.
Yodaka!
Save any questions you have for later. For now, let's move on to the relayer hierarchy structure. They're ruled by 12 god relayers, and beneath that, there's a leadership class of master relayers. The rest are just a mob of grunts simply called soldiers. The ones that Luna appears to be involved with most likely belong to the master relayer class.
She's in a leadership position with them?
It is a miracle that we survived against the upper echelons of such masters of the laws of the universe. However, there is one thing which does not compute. Why did they steal the original one?
If I had to guess, I think their motive for that may have had nothing to do with their campaign to snuff out the universe.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what they're up to, but I think the key to figuring it out lies in the original one.
So that means we really need to get it back.
I think that's enough book learning for today. Time to go.
Where are we going?
The hangar. It should be about time for our workout with Venus.
Wow. It's already fixed.
I believe they replaced some parts. Depending on the level of damage, sometimes it's faster and easier to simply replace damaged components.
I didn't know that. Wow, you really do know everything.
Hey, Venus. Did you get that thing ready for us?
Yep, easy peasy. I got it done along with the repairs.
That's our Venus. Always on top of everything.
Oh, stop. Anyway, it's the least I can do since I can't fight. Can't fight?
All right, Venus. I'm leaving Terra with you. Whip her into shape.
Count on it. You know how I do things. You won't be joining us, Himiko?
I gotta attend a meeting with GT Labs HQ in a few. You're gonna stay here and learn a few things from Venus. Trust me, Venus is much better than me at this kind of thing.
Is it okay to just turn it on?
Absolutely. Grandpa said it was okay.
By the way, I noticed you referred to him as Gramps the first time I met him, too. Is he really your grandpa?
He sure is. I tagged along when he told me he was going to work on GT Lab's cutting-edge ship, and I just so happened to awaken as a Star Child by sheer luck. And now I get to play around with cutting-edge grav tech every day. It's awesome. Stellar drive initiation, check. Data link, check. All other systems, check. Okay. Now, hit the icon at the bottom of your nav screen. Oh, the one with the new icon.
The new icon? This is the one. Here goes. How am I in space all of a sudden?
It's only a simulation.
We can't keep having you fight without giving you some training at least. I also need more battle data from you before I can make the right tweaks to your gear.
Hey, Venus? Is it okay if I get started?
Yeah, go for it. Have fun.
Let's start with the lowest difficulty level.
How about I put you through the paces?
It was Sun, right? Are you sure you don't mind?
Yeah. I was just about to get some training in anyway. Besides, it's the platoon leader's job to train rookies. Let's do it.
Why don't you give it a go, Terra? She's young, but she used to be the UEF Armed Forces ace.
That was over a year ago. Besides, relayers don't care what your title is when they're trying to kill you. I'm just a Star Child like everyone else.
Then, would it be alright if I took you up on your offer?
Absolutely. Tell me something. How spicy do you like your curry?
Curry? I like my curry ultra hot. Why do you ask?
Ultra hot, huh? I might not be enough for you then.
Huh?
Wait a sec. I'll call someone.
Mercury, I assume?
You know how she is. She's probably back in her cockpit right about now.
She's not answering.
Can't say I'm surprised.
What is it? I'm trying to read a book here.
Hey, I'm about to whip the new girl into shape. Wanna help?
I'll pass. Can I go now?
Is your little mail order book that good?
It's not just the story. It's the texture of the paper. It's perfect.
It's rare to find someone who appreciates actual paper books these days.
It's just different when you turn real paper pages. It's the only true reading experience.
You're what's known as an aficionado.
No, she's what's known as a bookworm. She's always wasting time reading in her cockpit.
Why in her cockpit?
Because her room is covered in books. But also because her cockpit cancels out noise most effectively.
Are you finished? I've got a book to get back to.
Aw, she turned me down. Oh well, guess I'll show you the ropes by myself.
Son, why are you going over there?
Why? Because it's customary to cross swords with a new trainee, of course.
Huh? Isn't training usually like you gently holding my hand and showing me how to do things step by step?
Wait, weren't you the one who just ordered up the ultra-hot curry? Looks like I'll need to knock some courage into you.
But this isn't what I meant by that at all.
You should know by now that ultra-spicy curry burns more going out than coming in. Feel the burn, Master.
Mind your own business, Yodaka.
I can't help you with your little curry kink there, but I can definitely light a whole different kind of fire under your ass.
Let's get rolling, Yodaka. It's time to move out. Incoming! Feels like I'm stronger.
Not too shabby. Let's see how you do with this.
No fair! Why do you get help and I don't?
No fair? I've trained a lot of rookies, but you're the first to say that. Listen up, Terra. The battlefield isn't a fair place. You always need to be prepared to make it through the worst possible situations.
Heavy damage sustained. This doesn't look good.
Commencing repairs! Stellar Astoria, ready to blaze trails. Patching you up.
Taking action. I'm with you.
Looks like you still have some gas in the tank. Time to crank the spice level up to ultra then.
Those are Luna and the relayers gears.
That's right. They're AI replicas based on Netherworld battle data. They'll help you get to the level you need to be at. There's nothing wrong with talking things out, but remember, sometimes words need to be backed up by force in order to be effective. Without the strength to actually win, all your flowery talk won't mean a damn thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Now there's some fight in your eyes. Maybe you're not so hopeless after all.
Stellar Astoria, ready to blaze trails.
Moving out. I'm with you.
Where's my prey?
Let's get rolling, Yodaka. It's time to move out.
taking action. Go!
All right. Who do I kill first?
You!
Direct hit. Delicious. Let's do
it. Let's get rolling, Yodaka. It's time to move out. Gone! I'm still good.
This'll help. Moving out. Let's heal up.
I'll teach them a lesson. Don't mess with me!
Good.
Where's my prey?
Sorry, but I have to pull back. Son? What? Stella Gear Astoria. Ready to blaze trails.
Not too shabby. Let's see how you do. No fair?
Heavy damage sustained. This doesn't look good. Commencing repairs. Leveled up. Stella Gear Astoria. Ready to blaze trails. Commencing repairs.
Moving out. I'll provide support. Have I been hit?
It's still good.
Looks like you still.
Those are...
That's there. Now?
I won't allow anyone to stand in our way.
Leave it to me.
Moving out. I'll provide support.
Where's my prey? End it.
Stellagir Astoria, ready to blaze trails. Commencing repairs.
Try me on for size.
We're built different. Taking action. You are dust!
All right. Who do I kill first?
Eat this! Hit me dead on! Impossible.
Where's my prey? This is hardly worth the time.
Stellagir Astoria, ready to blaze trails. Clear the way! I'm still good.
Try me on for size. Too slow.
That one got me!
Who wants to die?
You!
Where's my prey?
I won't allow anyone to stand in our way. Let's get back to the mission. Leveled up.
Looking good. Now, time to sit back and see what you got.
I have to retreat.
Good enough. Now I have a good feel for your ability level. Let's wrap things up.
Level up time.
I've leveled up.
I feel I've grown. I tried so hard. I guess it wasn't enough.
You need work, but you have talent. Keep training. Don't stop until you can keep hold of your sister.
I won't. I think I got a pretty good feel for space combat just now. Thank you.
I'm impressed you learned so quickly. I hope this lit a little fire under your ass.
Enough of that.
Just a little reward. Let me know anytime you want more training.
I swear that that's not actually a kink I'm into. Yutaka, I swear, if people start spreading crazy rumors about me, I am taking you straight to the trash compactor.
And just how will you respond to such rumors? Oh, it greatly stimulates my intellect.
Don't push me any further, Yutaka.
Sorry I'm late.
No worries, son. You want a drink? I can make you something real quick.
No, thank you. But I appreciate the thought. How was your star reading, Himiko?
Not so good. Things are so obscure, not even the stars hold any answers.
Were you able to sense the will of the moon?
Nope, I felt nothing. It's partly because it's too far away. I have no idea what to do.
So, guess that means we lost it.
It was very faint, but I did sense a different will far away.
A different will of the stars?
It was too far for me to pin down the location.
We'd go searching if the asterism was in better shape. But as it is, we need to hurry back to Earth.
So how did Terra do?
We sparred a little. Her maneuvering, positioning, and tactical ability were much better than the average rookies. I don't think it was just dumb luck that she survived her first battle against the Dark Gears.
Are you saying you think she's had pilot training somewhere?
I don't know for sure, but I do think it may be possible.
So she could be hiding something behind the whole amnesia thing, then. Please continue to observe her.
Aye, aye, Commander. Oh, I mean, Captain.
I'm sorry to make you spy on your crewmate like this.
It's okay. I'm used to this level of subterfuge. But I guess you already knew that.
You guessed right.
This guy? This is who you kept harassing me to meet?
Little Prince, United Earth Forces Moon Base. Reporting.
A junior officer? You wouldn't stop pestering me about meeting someone? And this is who you bring me? Some junior officer off a backwater base?
He's with 404th Special. I think he could be useful to you.
What in the hell? Don't waste my time. You know exactly what's so special about that unit.
Yes, I do. I think it says a lot about his abilities that he's the sole survivor of that skirmish with the relayers the other day.
I suppose, if you're talking about them so openly, it means this guy knows about them.
He knows through bitter experience. He also knows about the existence of the Star Children.
Relayers and a Star Child killed everyone under my command. I want revenge. Please, allow me the opportunity to settle the score with them.
Revenge? How utterly droll.
He may be from a boondock base, but he's an exceptional soldier. He led that unit of roughnecks and hotheads very well.
Then I might have a use for him. Tell me your name and rank again.
Sergeant Major Little Prince, sir.
One more question, Sergeant Major. What's your definition of justice?
My definition of justice?
If you don't have one, figure it out. It's what informs your work as a soldier.
Yes, sir.
I hereby authorize transfer of Sergeant Major Prince to the 404th Special, with the rank of Second Lieutenant.
The 404th Special?
I want you to use the grit and good fortune that got you through that assault, and use it for the sake of everyone on Earth.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Now, with this piece of the puzzle in place, it's your turn. First Star.
Need something? Oh, it's you. Morning. Did you get enough sleep last night?